Hey guys, so I just got a crap ton of stuff from Ulta. This was my biggest purchase because they were having $20 off $100, basically 20% off, and that's including all the big name brands. The biggest deal they ever have for the big name brands is 10% off. I had to go in and get all the stuff that has just been sitting in my favorites for so long that I just couldn't justify spending the full price on. And that's what we are playing with today. I hope you guys enjoy the video. We have a lot to test out, so let's begin. Dude, I just took out the socks. I will put the video I saw on Instagram right here following that tutorial. And it worked. It's very curly, but I kind of have to like tone it down, and I will be back. Let's begin with foundation. I got Fenty Beauty's foundation. This was never on my radar to buy, but when I was reading a thread about the About Face foundation, a girl was saying, I wonder how good it is with a light olive skin tone. And I was like, oh my gosh, this works perfectly for all skin tones. Like, this is the best match I've ever had to a foundation. And she's like, oh my gosh, that's so good to hear. The closest I've ever had was Fenty foundation. You should try it. And I was like, okay, you know what? Yeah. I'm in the shade 210. Oh, I've never even like held the bottle before. I didn't know it was all glass and pretty. Fenty is $40 and About Face is $22. So she better be better than this girl. In real life, I would probably be siding with Fenty because this is matte and this is pretty hydrating and glowy. I love the look of this more. I know that as I age, I will get drier and lose that oil production, so I'll probably love her more as I get older. And maybe right now this is what I would go for if I actually was gonna wear a full face of makeup if I went outside. I haven't even tried her, so let's see if I even like it. Because I'm just gonna use her with my Hourglass foundation brush because she makes every foundation look good. Just giving her the best opportunity here. I already did put primer on. Okay, let's see how much first one pump can cover. Okay, that's new. I've never had that problem with the foundation where it might be the brush because I've never seen this brush create streaks in my foundation. Okay, she's already setting deeply into my nose. She's covering this area, but when I try to pat it in, it's not going there. It's just sitting in the creases of my nose. Okay, this is giving me the vibe that I was talking about with my last video about Rare Beauty being really patchy and looking like it's just sitting on top of my skin. And there's so many empty patches. Okay, you know what? Let me switch to a beauty blender and see if that works better. So it's pretty liquidy, like the House Labs. It's working slightly better than the brush. So just first impressions, first thoughts, it looks better with a blender, but it's still giving me like those patchy areas that the Rare Beauty was giving me. Is the Rare Beauty marketed as a matte foundation? And maybe that's why, maybe because they're both matte foundations, like it looks dry and patchy on me. Because the House Labs that I love and the About Face foundation that I love are more hydrating, glowy-ish, not a full-on luminous foundation, but they're glowy a little. They're not dry and patchy on me. So now I'm wondering, is it just matte foundations that do this to me? Okay, no, because Juvia's Place foundation is one of the mattest foundations. Like, she's matte, but I never had a problem with patchiness with her. She went smoothly on top of my skin. And now that it's on and looking at in the camera, I do like it. When I get up close, there's a few patchy spots here and there, just like the Rare Beauty foundation, but it's not as bad as the Rare Beauty foundation one. First impressions, it's not my favorite. It doesn't look good. And this is totally something I should wear because I am a very oily girl, so I should be getting matte foundations because throughout the day my oils will peek through. There's something about it I'm just not vibing with. It's not like when I used the House Labs for the first time and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Initial thoughts, I don't know why I always want to talk when I put it on my neck and I sound weird. The color is perfect. It's not as heavy as the Rare Beauty foundation one, which, I mean, I hate heavy foundations. If you're oily, you don't want even more weight sitting on top of your face. So I will give it that. It's a beautiful shade and it's matte, but then there's still a shine there. Interesting. It's neither a love or hate right now. it's an in-between. Okay, next we have concealer. This is the only drugstore thing. I just got it because I bought this Milani concealer. I was watching videos on what's the best concealer for dark under eye circles, and this one popped up a lot. I bought one the other week from Ulta. I was stupid because I didn't look at it when I did the pickup order, and I got home and I didn't notice that the sticker was like cut. And when I opened it, there's a bunch of concealer all over the rim. And I was like, that's disgusting. That literally looks like the sample concealer, and that's what the Ulta employee put in my order. So I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna use that. So I put this in this order to pick up, and I looked at it and I was like, okay, it looks like the sticker is perfectly fine. It doesn't look open, right? It looks fine. And then I got home and I opened it just to double check, and there's concealer on the edges right here. Hey, I haven't pulled this out yet, but you can see there's concealer on the edges, meaning someone pulled this out and scraped the concealer. So someone was also playing with this. And I'm like, do I go in for a second time and be like, hey, this is the second concealer you packed for me that was already broken into and swatched. Do I want to put this on my eye? See how she is with brightening. She's more on the thicker, cakier side. Again, that's not a good or bad thing. You could be nice and creamy and thin and liquidy, but you could still crease the crap out of my under eyes. So straight off the bat, I feel like that kind of did. Again, I feel like you're always gonna see this circle. Or was it this one? Every time I'm editing, it's so annoying how I always see the outline of that circle with whatever concealer I put on. I know I should probably be using like some pink or green color corrector first, but like, no, I want a concealer to do it all. My dark under eyes are still popping. Okay, next, let's go in with bronzer. I got this NUDESTIX matte all over face bronze color in the shade Bondi Belle. I do have their Tinted Blur Sculpt Stick. These are practically the same shades. I got this in Sephora because Ulta was only selling this online. When I bought this at Sephora, the lady was like, oh, I really love this one. And I was like, do you know the difference between this and this? And she's like, yeah, this one's more glossy and this one's more matte. But this one is called matte. It doesn't say matte on this, but this is matte. So maybe I'll do one on this side and the other on this side just so we can compare. I know one's a bronzer and one's a contour. The Tinted Blur Stick is in the shade Nude, Neutral Medium. Then we have the bronze stick in the shade Bondi Belle. Yeah, I feel like there's a tiny bit more orange. I feel like this is even cool tone. Let's try the new one on this side. I'm gonna treat her the same way I do as my contour. Because I mean, I kind of put bronzers and contours in the same area anyways. I'm gonna do my little thing that I've been doing. This one's okay. Immediately, this is harder to blend than the Tinted Blur Stick. And this is always the brush I use when I put the contour and bronzer over here. This isn't blending as well. I have to take this off. I mean, could that also be it? Mixing with the foundation, it looks patchy. It's harder to work in compared to the blur stick. It's sticking to spots more than the blur stick. And again, what if it's because of the foundation? Okay, let me do the blur stick on this side and see if it's the foundation's fault. Nope, it's the bronze stick. This already went on smoother. It glided on smoother. So it is having a tiny bit harder time than when I used it with my other foundations, but the Tinted Blur Stick does still blend out easier than the bronzer. So I feel like the foundation does play into the patchiness because I used the blur stick with the Rare Beauty foundation, and even though the Rare Beauty foundation itself is so patchy, this still worked beautifully on top of it. So this is the bronze one and this is the contour. I feel like this looks gray compared to this. So first impressions, I like the blur stick. I mean, this does look blurring compared to this, but we'll put the bronze since this is what I got from the Ulta sale. So I haven't been putting anything on my cheekbone like this. Let me try this time since we are playing with a bronzer. It's kind of more on the verge of cool tone. I mean, obviously you don't need both because even though this is a bronzer, it is pretty cool toned. So if you're getting something cool toned, you might as well just get the contour stick because it is blurring, and this one's more patchy. So again, I would just go with the blur stick because it's easier to work with. It's blurring, it's less patchy. Of course, I had to get another Too Faced Kissing Jelly Gloss because I am so in love with my sour watermelon one. The smell, the formula, everything. So I had to get another one because again, I cannot justify paying the full price $22 for this. They didn't have the sour watermelon, but they did have the raspberry. Look at that. Not even used yet, and there's that huge air bubble right there where it's like either make a bigger bottle or fill up that air bubble. Smells like candy. And again, there's not lots of shade in these, but that lip applicator always gets me. It feels like you're taking a little bunny's paw and rubbing it on your lips. The smell's not going hard like the sour watermelon is. Again, I feel like that plays a big role in why that's my favorite, but still the formula itself is like so unique and one of the best lip formulas I've ever tried. Yeah, I don't think I need to play around with different shades and scents. I think from now on I'm just gonna stick to the sour watermelon. I just had to get her because again, I cannot justify spending $22 for this. I did have to grab my sunscreen. I never pay full price for her because she is $32, so I always buy her during a sale. Okay, so next thing I got was blush. I've been seeing this shade so much. First I saw it on TikTok. This is a specific one that's been selling now and everyone's obsessed with, Candy Clouds. And it's very cool toned, bubblegum pink. And I'm like, that would never look good on me. And a lot of people say the same thing in the comments. They're like, oh, that shade would not look good on me. But then I bought it and it looks amazing. Like, I'm shocked how well it works. I'm a big skeptic. I love it alone just for the whole compact. Is that not the cutest compact? I love that she's small. You think more product is something you would go for, but seeing blush with so much product in it, like think Makeup by Mario's or the full size LYS blush, this is a small. Bigger blushes do not attract me. I'm like, ooh, I'm never gonna finish that. It's gonna expire by the time I even get to a quarter of the way done with it. When it comes to packaging and blush, I love the ones that are in a smaller packaging. With that little heart right there. Yeah, that's just so cutesy. I can see why everyone's obsessed with it. Dude, I'm so excited. I haven't tried a powdered blush in so long. Oh, there's a smell to it. Some kind of candy. Please work, please work, please work. Okay. Even that initial dab looks fine. Okay, I am convinced. I mean, I think it's gonna look even better when I have on the full face. See, yeah, that curl barely lasted. I slept uncomfortably with those two space buns all night just for my hair to go back to being straight. Okay, so I got two eyeshadow products, Urban Decay's Moondust in the shade Space Cowboy. I feel like this is one of Urban Decay's most viral products. Me being such a hardcore glitter girly, I'm shocked I haven't gotten this a long time ago. But again, I could not justify spending the full price. The second eyeshadow product I got was a NUDESTIX. This is in the shade Angel. So she is going to be my third attempt at trying out a NUDESTIX eyeshadow stick. The first one I tried in my Canadian makeup video, barely showed up on my lid. You couldn't see any color. Second was a sample I got. It kind of looks like this shade. I put it on before I filmed the video and it was not showing up on my eyes, so I ended up covering it up with another eyeshadow stick. And I was like, okay, I need to actually go and swatch something that I would like, because again, one was a sample and the other one was part of like a package, so I never got to swatch that shade either. But this one I got to swatch, and she's the shade I would definitely get when it comes to eyeshadow sticks. Again, she's in shade Angel. Should we do a little ASMR? It's kind of getting annoying that every single thing comes in these tins. I feel like that's such a waste of packaging. See, that's a beautiful champagne shade. I'm gonna try her on this side and Space Cowboy on this side. Oh, I forgot that was my problem with the last one. She doesn't instantly melt onto your eye like my other eyeshadow sticks do. I kind of have to drag her a bit. Oh, she's doing what the Wink Dazzle stick was doing, where if I go over on top, she pulls the eyeshadow out. Do you see that patch? Ah, this is what I was complaining about with the Wink Dazzle stick. Dang it. It's so weird how I feel like it melts when I swatch on my hand, but then when I put it on my eye, it feels like I'm pressing a crayon onto my eye and trying to like rub the crayon. But can you see, like it's patchy, like there's lines there. Okay, see, that just looks messy as hell. Yeah, it's the product, it's not the shades. Yeah, she is not blending at all. She is stuck there. Like, I need a little bit of give. I don't remember if I blended out the first time or if I just added another matte eyeshadow, but she is like stuck on there. I thought she was gonna be the one, but she's just like the others. Okay, let me try to cover that up with Space Cowboy. I have a feeling he won't disappoint me because, again, everyone's so obsessed with this. And I feel like it's been a lot of people's holy grail staple eyeshadows for a long time. This is, oh, this is not the spot. This is what I was expecting. Like, it kind of looks like she's on water glistening, right? Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Okay, I can see the hype. Oh, that's so pretty. I feel like I just covered up a bad tattoo with a really good tattoo. Because in person, wow, that shine is so pretty. Okay, let's see what Space Cowboy looks by herself. Yeah, she's so much prettier by herself. Okay, so there's the viral Space Cowboy. So out of all of these, this is the only one I tried. When it comes to eyeliner, I just can't help myself. I'm very impatient. I want to do this video testing out the 20 plus liquid liners I have and how well they work on my oily hooded eyes. But when I think I'm done, I'm like, wait, I still want to try this eyeliner. And then I think I'm done. I'm like, wait, no, I still want to try this liner. But I honestly think I am done after trying this one. I feel like I have all the vegan and cruelty-free eyeliners to finally do my video. So I tested her out yesterday and the day before, and it sucks to say she is part of the eyeliner group that does transfer on my oily lids, which sucks because I love her. So if you do not have a problem with oily lids, I would actually recommend this because it feels more expensive. It feels really nice and a little bit bougie, but not too much. So I like the packaging. Like, I need that sound in an eyeliner. I need this sound. 2, I like that she has that sound. 3, the black is there. The brush is easy to work with. I just wish this is what their new, I will put it right here. When I tried that out in my first impressions, I love that design. I said in that video that I wish every single liquid eyeliner had that grip, but the formula and the ink, it was horrible. If only they could put this ink and this brush into that grip. They just showed someone the apartment upstairs. I heard the manager and then her giving the guy a tour. They came downstairs and the guy was like, oh, does no one live in this apartment? And I'm like, dude, you could see the outline of all my plants on the window. And then the manager was like, yeah, there has to be someone who lives here. There's a package. Then I heard her pick it up and she's like, yeah, Josiah. So I'm like, girl, I wanted to open the door and be like, yeah, we live here. Can you not touch his packages? Can you not touch my husband's package? So where was I? Oh, let's put it on the eyeliner. Wait, why are you not working anymore? You worked so well yesterday, why? What? I think it's the eyeshadow. I noticed there are very few eyeliners that can go over my glitter and my eyeshadows versus directly onto my lid with nothing on them. And this is not going on top of the eyeshadow. Interesting. Okay, I think she just needed a push. If I didn't have oily lids, then I would totally love this eyeliner. But there are cheaper ones that feel and work the same way. But for what, $27? What's the point if you transfer? There have only been 2 eyeliners that I've needed to wipe off because they just kept getting thicker and thicker, and it was this and then the Thrive Cosmetics one. Since they're more flexible and they bend more, they can easily like move and add more product to your eye. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it there. We have 2 more products, Live Tinted's lipstick in the shade Persistent, and then Urban Decay's Long Lasting Makeup Setting Spray. I mentioned a few times, this just has such a unique formula. It feels like some kind of texture keeps coming to my mind. I don't know why I wanna say suede or like velvet. It's a nice, smooth, satisfying rub. Oh yeah, I love deep reds like this. It's giving Lime Crime Wicked vibes. Oh my gosh, I didn't wipe off the Too Faced lip oil. Oh, that's my bad. I mean, it's still working beautifully though. Okay, I think she looks really good. That's exactly what I expected and wanted out of this shade. Again, this formula just feels so nice and satiny and velvety on the lips. I just love it. Even though she's sitting on top of a lip oil, she still looks really good. And she's not patchy. The only thing I don't like is that I haven't worn her long enough to really know what happens, because I don't know if she eventually dries down. I don't know if she stays this moisturizing the whole time. I kind of want her to dry down. That's kind of why I really love the Lime Crime ones, because since they dry down all the way, they do not transfer at all. I could be eating drinking and it wouldn't transfer. Of course, when there's some type of give, then it will transfer. I can't stop looking at it. It's so pretty. The last product is the Urban Decay All-Nighter. I never really actually need a setting spray. There have only been 3 times in my life where I've had a full face of makeup on, and they were all for weddings. My brother's wedding, my best friend's wedding, and my wedding. But I am gonna put on a full face of makeup for something at the end of this year, so I do need some setting spray. I've always seen people raving about Charlotte Tilbury and then One Size. With Charlotte Tilbury, it was hard because that's what I was gonna buy, but then reading reviews and people saying like, oh, makes your makeup look airbrushed, but it's not long lasting. And I do need a long lasting setting spray for what I'm gonna need this for. And then the One Size one, just the fact that people were like, oh, it smells like hairspray, or basically is hairspray in a bottle, that kind of turned me off. And I was like, you know what, let me go back to the one I'm comfortable with and know and love, and it's the Urban Decay All Nighter. So yeah, let's try her. I haven't used a setting spray in so long. Oh, and I think I also got it because it's mattifying. I'm not trying to look nice and glowy like the Charlotte Tilbury one. I want to keep my oily skin from messing with my makeup. So that is what I got from the Ulta sale. I feel like it was nothing, yet this was like my biggest purchase from Ulta. Maybe because I don't have a lot of eyeshadow. Okay, let's do a roundup of the products. COOLA, practically the only sunscreen I can use, so of course I had to get another one. Fenty foundation, first impressions again, I'm not feeling it. Weirdly getting into my nostrils. I mean, sometimes that does happen if my nose is dry, but it's not usually obvious like that with my other foundations. Off the bat, it wasn't my favorite. I didn't instantly love it. Who knows? Maybe on my 3rd or 4th try, I'll fall in love with her, but right now, I'm not a huge fan. Milani, I feel like concealer takes me a long time to really get to know, and that's probably because I've only had my Tarte Shape Tape for years, so like I really know her. My dark circles still showing. I want to say it's not as patchy and it's not giving me as intense lines like some other concealers do. House Labs and maybe an e.l.f. one, I saw like a really deep line and I was like, where did that come from? I do not have that deep line in real life, but the concealer just accentuated it. So it's not sitting into that line as deeply as some other concealers do, which I like. Wasn't a fan of the NUDESTIX Bondi Belle. Again, I'm more of a fan of their Tinted Blur Sculpt Stick. I just didn't like that it was patchy and that it took more work to blend it out versus the tinted one. Too Faced Kissing Jelly Gloss. It's crazy how it's the exact same thing, but she doesn't excite me like the Sour Watermelon does. Even though it's the same satisfying rabbit's foot love, it's not as enjoyable as a Sour Watermelon. So I really think you should, I mean, you should obviously go for the scent you love. I personally don't think you need any of the other scents if you really love one, because they all work the same. There's really no color. Definitely love the Too Faced blush. She was so much fun. I love the look. I feel so girly just looking at her, like knowing she's gonna be sitting over there. I'm glad that the shade worked out, but again, I feel like all blushes end up pretty much looking the same on me. I love how it looks here in the camera because you do kind of see that light pastel pink, but then in the bathroom it does look more berry, and I feel like so many blushes end up just looking berry on me. Peaches don't. That's why I love peaches, because there's a distinct difference between a peach and basically every single pink. Again, packaging usually is what gets me to use a product more. If I'm excited looking at you, I'm gonna use you more. I think it's safe to say I do not like these. I thought I was gonna like it because out of all the ones I swatched, this was the shade I liked the most, and I just figured since the other 2 shades were shades I didn't like, that's why it didn't work. But then I forgot about the formula and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that was really tuggy and it felt like trying to drag a crayon over your eyes. And it was patchy and it did that same whole creasy vibe like the Winky Lux one did. Honestly, I feel like I've kind of given up on nude sticks because there hasn't been one thing. I mean, yes, the tinted blur stick is good. There hasn't really been anything that really excited me or made me want to really use it or buy it. You know, I tried this, their liquid blush, their bronzer, the blur stick, their mascara, their brow gel. Absolutely none of them excited me. I think I'm good with nude sticks right now. Just, I guess we're not vibing because I haven't really found anything I really love from them. Urban Decay, Space Cowboy, yes, I see the hype. I expected to love this and I've never even swatched it in store. Live Tinted, yes, I love her. I love the shade. I think she's beautiful. I love the formula. Even though she's sitting on top of lip oil, she didn't get patchy. She looks beautiful. If I can't stop looking at the camera at my lips, then you know I'm in love. And then the liner, I can't really hype her up if I'm not going to use her anymore. The all-nighter spray. I mean, she's like a classic and I know she works, so I just had to get her again. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next one.